welcome to I Found a Weird Show. I'm Laura,
And I'm Lauren.
and we are continuing our recap of season 4 of the TV show From. So we are on episode 4. So there's only 10 episodes, so we're getting there.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through.
Yeah, but I mean, again, another really good episode. I I think that this season so far has been really, really good.
Yeah, I think we might be in the minority on that. And I know at the end of this episode, I was like, this feels like another episode that people are going to complain about, but we loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but I think too that's the thing is like I think that the people that are complaining are the people who are like, "Oh, but I want answers now." And that's not what this show is.
Or I want blood. There's been no blood.
Yeah.
There was
And I'm
blood
cool
in
with
this
not having
episode.
blood. I mean, yeah, and that's I
Not
think
like
that's
direct, but yes.
Yes. I mean, and that's I think that I'm okay with that kind of show. That's not the show that I'm walking into this for.
Right.
So, but there's still things that we're like, where's my answer for this? Why hasn't nobody brought this up again? Ghosts
Yeah.
in the house.
Oh my God. At the end of every episode, we always start with, so they're not going to talk about the ghosts?
Right?
Or the
We're just
zombie? Like, what the fuck?
Gonna let that slide? Okay. All
Oh
right.
my God, they're all delusional. Or
How
I'm delusional. No, I keep thinking that I imagined that happened, and then someone else mentions it, and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not going crazy.
Well, and there have been heart-to-hearts, and there have been moments where, like, in this episode, where we'll get to it, but, like, where they're a group of people talking about things that have happened.
Right.
Still no mentions of the ghosts.
Yeah. And we could excuse it the first episode after it happened, because, like, yeah, we got to get through the funeral, we're grieving, whatever. But now it's like, okay, we're on quests now. Anyone want to discuss anything weird that's happened to them this week?
Yeah.
No? What the fuck?
Did Julie tell Randall? Come on. Like, somebody tell somebody.
Yeah, I'm shocked Julie hasn't mentioned it to Randall. But
Because she's
I'm
so
also shocked
focused
that
on
Tabby
story
hasn't.
walking.
Yeah,
Ethan's
but like,
so focused on Lake of Tears. But he could have told Victor about it. But he's so focused on Lake of Tears.
yeah,
Tabitha,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what
she's
her
just in
problem is.
denial about everything,
True.
which we're gonna touch on because some of that's annoying the shit out of me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think we have differing opinions or maybe like different I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to hear what you think of Tabitha this episode because I have some thoughts.
You know, the main thing that I think about Tabitha right now is that her hair is done too well and her makeup is on point, and that annoys me because everyone else looks like they're in Demon Land and haven't been to a haircut appointment in a long time. But Tabitha, I'm like, I feel like the makeup department, and I hate to be that person that's like women's makeup, but like it takes me out of it every time I see her on screen.
She did get out. Maybe she stopped for, a nice fix up of the hair.
Yeah, she got a blowout and like stocked up on all of her makeup essentials. Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I do hate to be that person, but it legitimately stands out because it is so well done every episode. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
As opposed to her daughter who's like chopping that shit off.
Right. But like even like Fatima has like no makeup on. Like nobody in this whole place has makeup except for Tabby. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
With 4 seasons and 5 bad haircuts.
Yeah. And how many days did you say this was over? Like 30? It's just it doesn't make sense to me.
27 days, maybe 30 days now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but this episode I do have some thoughts on Tabby. And we'll get there.
Yeah. You ready to start the recap?
Yes.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. So this is season 4, episode 4, and the title of this episode is Of Myths and Monsters. Very fitting title. All right. So we start the episode with Boyd, Jade, Donna, Tabitha, Ellis, and Henry, big group, all in the sheriff's office talking about the yellow suit that they that was found in the previous episode, and now they have it in the station, just like a pile of clothing.
I was pumped though because I'm like, thank you for all talking about this together.
Yeah, and they're like in a circle around it. It's very just like, a somber tone. They're like, what does this mean? Um, but Henry is telling them all about the paintings of things from this place that his wife had in the basement in their house in the real world, or whatever we're calling it, before she came here. And he says that the suit was in those paintings and is now here real. He questions if this could be the same suit, and they all seem to agree that yeah, that's likely. Makes sense. And then Jade says that like Victor didn't just recognize this suit, like he was terrified of it.
Mhm.
And Ellis asks like if the suit's here, where's the guy who was wearing it? Which is a great question.
Yeah.
Boyd is like, oh, he's probably long gone. Like that, we don't know how long that suit's been out there. It could have been out there for years. But Jade argues that like it was way too close to town for no one to have noticed this thing.
Yes.
And Boyd brings up the point that like the monsters could have left it there to mess with them, which is actually a valid thought. Because they've done shit like that and been messing with them a lot lately. So
True.
it's a good thought. I'm not gonna discredit that. But they have no way of knowing, and the best thing to do is to talk to Victor. Boyd tries so hard to be the one. He's like, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. But Henry, best dad, stands his ground. It's like, no. Like, no one's talking to Victor except for me. I'm gonna go talk to my son, and I'm gonna do it alone. And
Best dad.
best dad, I love this because you know that if anyone else went to it, Victor would not speak. And not
Yeah.
only that, they would get mad at him about it and start yelling at him, which would make him like shut down even more.
Yep.
We've seen it happen
Absolutely.
so many times. No.
And Boyd's not the one. No offense,
No.
Boyd, but you're not the one who's going to go talk to Victor.
Yeah. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
If Henry wasn't there, it would be Donna. Not you, though, Boyd.
I
Absolutely
think it
not.
might actually be Tabitha. Like maybe not
Yeah,
given
you know
that
what?
she's going through things, but she's gotten through to him before.
Yeah, or yeah, no, I think there's a few people who are on the list higher than Boyd because I think even Jade would be
Yeah.
an somewhat okay. It depends on his mood.
But
Kind of
they've got
person.
a connection.
They do have a connection.
Yeah, I think everybody in that room would be above Boyd on my list of people to talk to him.
Even
Even
Ellis.
Ellis.
Ellis, you get to go talk to Victor
Yeah.
before Boyd.
You're like one above Boyd, but you are still above Boyd.
Yep.
Yeah. So they all agree. They're like, okay, well, can't argue with you there, man. And as he's leaving, Henry brings up the boy in white and how he said that they're running out of time. And that for 40 years, that boy and all of this was just paintings in his basement. And now he can't pretend that it's like normal here anymore. Like he's just like, he's letting this place get to him a little bit, but kind of in the sense of just like a down to earth, like, oh, okay, I can't pretend that like everything's fine. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Which, it realistically, Henry hasn't had a chance to do that yet.
no.
He's been so focused on his son, as he rightfully should be.
Yeah.
But he also needed to have a moment of like, Jesus, this is where I'm at now.
Yeah, like this shit's really weird. But yeah, and I will say, like, Henry still handles this better than 90% of the people there. Like
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
had his moment of like, oh shit, this place is weird, but like, all right, I gotta go talk to my son, make sure he's good.
Yep.
Moving on. But yeah, so after he leaves, Donna asks the room if Henry knows about the whole soul thing with Tabby and Jade, and she says no. And Tabby's even just like, we don't even know if it's real or not. And Jade's like, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
We know it's real. Stop lying to yourself.
Right.
First and foremost, stop lying to yourself, girl. Come on. But they all agree to keep that between the people in this room. And Jade brings up wanting to explore if there's anything like locked in their minds, like memories, stuff like that. And Donna knows that he means that he wants to take the mushrooms to see if doing the drugs will unlock anything. And then questions if Boyd is really okay with this. And Boyd's like, no, I'm not okay with any of this. But like, I'm not okay with anything going on at all. So if Jade has answers in his head, then they've got to try it, and he's gonna be with Jade the whole time to keep him safe. So he's got a sober buddy too.
Yeah,
Well,
he's got a trip sitter. It's
yeah, he's got
okay.
that's it. Not a sober buddy, a trip sitter. That's a better phrase for it. And Donna says, like, whatever, and is like, moving on. I've got to go plan a settlement trip to do like a food run, which I was excited to hear because we haven't seen the settlement in a while, and we got to get back to those effigies. So she warns Jade that if he goes on this trip, like, he might not come back. And he knows. He's well aware. He seems like not excited to be doing this, but just more resigned to it.
Yes.
And then Tabby basically asks, like, she leaves, and Tabby asks for some time with Jade. So, like, Boyd goes into the other room, and Tabby and Jade are left alone. So now we see Sophia is in her new room at Sarah's house and is looking through letters from her quote-unquote father. We know that's not her real dad. And Sarah comes in and she wants to talk. She asks Sophia why she would want to live with Sarah, if she knows what she did. And I really want to note here that Sarah assumes that Kenny told Sophia, which
Yeah.
Sophia confirmed. She's like, yeah, Kenny told me. We know that Kenny did not tell her. And Kenny asked Sophia if Sarah told her, and she confirmed, which she did not. And so,
Well,
like,
she said she heard it around town.
well, yeah.
But Kenny was gonna tell her. Look, Kenny was gonna tell her. But but she
Yeah,
already fucking knew.
but like I feel like this, not maybe this instance, but like this sort of like, oh, so and so told me this when no one told her,
Yeah.
might be the way that she gets found out in the future. Again, not
Ooh.
necessarily this instance, but if she continues to use this as like her way of like getting in with people, like, oh, so and so told me this, like, if they eventually learn how to talk to each other and someone's like, why would you tell Sophia this? And they're like, I didn't. And they realize that she's like lying about how she gets information. Maybe, again, this is all very contingent on them speaking to each other and her using this in future situations. That could be a way that she gets found out as like, something's off with this girl.
That's a good point.
So we'll see. But yeah, so Sarah asks, why would you want to live with me knowing what I did? And Sophia says that her dad would have wanted her to give Sarah a chance, and that he used to say that only good people are tortured by the bad things that they've done. And she figured also that she would get her own room here because no one wants to live with Sarah, which is true and
That's fair.
also kind of funny. Like, yeah, that's great. I'd want my own room.
Yeah. Oh, me too. If I gotta live with Sarah to have my own room, deal.
Yeah, I'm in. And Sarah actually like finds that funny and seems satisfied with the overall answer and says that she's going to head down to make breakfast. And after she leaves, Sophia starts like whispering a chant under her breath, and we see as Sarah's going down the stairs that she starts like panicking and saying like, no, 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 like, please no, and holds her head, which we've seen her do pretty much every time she gets a message from the voices. And Sophia comes down acting all innocent, like, oh no, what's wrong? What's happening? Bitch, you know.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
she's like, decent enough acting.
Yeah, like, no, I don't think anybody's gonna suss. But
No.
whole season, we're just gonna be like, is this how they're gonna figure out like who's sussing her out? And like nobody is fucking sussing her out yet, but we're all like, come on, somebody, get on
Yeah.
board.
They might need some help to figure this one out, to be honest.
They're
We'll
getting
see.
clues though, left, right, and sideways.
They are, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So, back at the sheriff's office, Tabby asks Jade why he was with Ethan in the woods, and he tells her about the quest to find the Lake of Tears. And like, he's like, did he tell you about Jim? And she's like, yeah. So like they're talking through everything. Love that. But they agree that it's probably not real. And this is just Ethan's way of grieving,
which is
which is
wild.
bullshit. It's not just
What?
wild, it's bullshit, because these two in particular should be way more open to the idea that it was real and that, like, hey, people from beyond the grave do happen to talk to us from time to time, or, like, I don't know, those weird children in the woods. Like,
Yeah.
I
Like, and to be so dismissive of it was just like,
so
really?
dismissive. Like, Tabby's over here being like, "Oh, like, the memory thing can't be real," and Jade is like, "No, it's real." But this, he's like, "No, it's not real. Kids do this when they grieve." Like, Jade, go take your mushrooms.
I do think that Jade's talking from experience there,
Yeah.
because when his grandma died and all of that, but like, but still, like, dude, I need you to be you, Jade. I need you to be more open.
Like, you've talked to Tom how many times, sir? Come on.
Right?
Let's not do this. But whatever. So Jade says that this might help Ethan to give him this and, like, go along with it. And Tabby's, like, thinking it over, and she tells Jade that she's sorry for what she said in the barn. And he's a good sport. He tells her, like, not to be sorry and that she wasn't wrong. Um,
She was
and then
wrong.
she was wrong, definitely. Like, you don't that's like a horrible thing to say to somebody.
Yeah. That you should have died in place of somebody else. Yeah. Super
Yeah,
fucked.
super fucked up. But as she leaves, she tells Jade to be careful with those, like, indicating the mushrooms. And after she leaves, Boyd comes back in, and Jade's, like, picking up the mushrooms, looking at them, and Boyd asks Jade if everything's all right. And Jade responds with, I think, what's my favorite line of the episode. He says, "If you can tell me the last time everything was all right, you win a cookie."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then, like, Boyd asks if he's ready, and Jade's like, "Nope." Actually, I think he says, "Fuck no."
yeah.
But then he just starts chowing down on mushrooms. uh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
never prepared to eat wild mushrooms I find in the forest of Demon
No.
Land.
And, like, I thought, like, knowing Jade and his past, we used to call him Hi Guy. So, like, I was like, "Oh, he's probably, like, thrilled about this." No. Jade does not want to be
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
But, like, he feels like this is kind of his responsibility to try to get to the bottom of things, and if this is something that can help, like, he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it helps. I don't know. We'll see. So back at the Matthews house, Tabitha overhears Ethan trying to contact his dad using the broken radio, and so she goes in to talk to him. And he hides the radio, like, pretends nothing was happening. But she asks him why he went to Jade and Victor instead of her, uh, like, with regards to the Lake of Tears. And he tells her, like, he seems like reluctant to say this, but confesses that he knew that she would not believe him. And,
He's
like, we've
not
seen this in
wrong.
the past. Like, yeah, she and Jim would both, like, again, discredit or just, like, play down the things that their kids have said. So,
Right.
no, like,
And they still do
that's
that to Julie even, and Julie is like 16.
right. I do think that this episode specifically, Tabby seems like she understands more that, like, she needs to just let her kids do their thing, and maybe it's
Yeah.
because of what Jade said of, like, they need this because 'cause they're grieving, like, it might be worth it to just go along with it, even if you don't believe it. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know, we'll see. Um, but he was like, "I thought that if I were to find it, it could prove that it was real and that Jim is still here." So Tabby looks, upset by this, like, "Oh shit, my kids don't trust me." But says okay and tells him to pack a bag and they're going on a trip. Hopefully a different type of trip than Jade. We shall see.
Mhm.
Now we see Julie. She is in the bus with Randall, and they've got, like, all of the children's books, all of Ethan's books laid out. They're, like, looking for something that might be a clue. And Randall finds something about Storywalker Fred, who's a character in one of the books and is a distant cousin of the Gulagog, which we've heard about that character a few times in season one. when Ethan was reading about it. But Storywalker Fred is a storywalker who can go through like all of the tales and adventures of our time, whatever that means. And like as they start talking about it, they hear Tabby calling for Julie. They go to hide the books. I was actually sure why they hid the books. If it was just like oh, we don't want her to know that we went into this house that was, collapsed to go get them, or if they're worried that she would be like, this is all bullshit, like stop going after makeup or made up stories kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but they hide the books. And Tabby gets on the bus and tells Julie that she needs to get ready for a trip and tells her about the Lake of Tears. And she still claims that like Ethan's just grieving, but if she doesn't help him with this, he's just gonna go ahead, like run away and do it alone, like he's done multiple times. So she's gonna do this with him and wants Julie to come. So Julie gets it. She like, yeah, we're all on our quest now. Julie is on board, but says that she wants to stay behind this time and says that she can stay at the clinic with Christy and Mary. Um, and then Tabby, like, without responding to Julie, just turns to Randall and asks to talk to him outside. She then basically reads him the riot act, which was really entertaining, but basically talks about how, like, Julie trusts him and, like, has, like, this connection with him, and she needs Randall to understand what she will do to him if he ever breaks that trust. I thought that was a good
Yeah.
mom moment. Like, she even, like, tells him she doesn't know anything about him, but Julie sees something in him. So, like, this is her putting trust in what Julie has decided is, like, a good person, and I genuinely love that.
Yeah, no, I
So,
think this is very much a good mom moment where, like, yeah, I'm showing that I trust my daughter.
yeah, I don't trust you, but I trust her. So
Mhm.
don't break her trust. I don't have trust. You don't have to break my trust. It's Julie. And he understands. He's like, "Yep, got it. Don't fuck this up." And then like Tabby and Julie say goodbye and Tabby heads out. Now we are at the colony house and Ellis is getting ready to go. He's part of the group that Donna's put together to go to the settlement, and he's saying his own goodbyes to Fatima, but he is obviously very nervous to leave her. This will be the first time that he's been leaving since the whole like kidnapping baby situation. But she convinces him that she's gonna be fine, and then we see Donna on the side like talking Kenny through the house management, all the things that they've got to do before nightfall, basically insinuating that Kenny is in charge of the house, while she's gone, which I think is cool because Kenny's like the last person that moved in, but he's Kenny. We love Kenny.
Yep.
But she also tells him to keep an eye on Fatima since Ellis is going to be gone. She's not the same as she was before. Pretty standard, I think. And then Tabby and Ethan walk up and ask to join them. Easy yes. They start heading off to the settlement. Then we see Fatima goes inside and up to the room that Elgin has been bringing dirt to. And now there are two giant piles of dirt and like a bunch of buckets, hoses, just like, what the hell is going on in this room? And Elgin apparently also doesn't know what's going on in this room because he tells Fatima that he can help her with the rest of it if she explains it to him. But she says that the rest is something that she's got to do alone, and he leaves. And Victor is back outside. He's measuring the distance of the trees from the house to see if they've moved. And Henry comes up to him and asks what he's doing and why. He's obviously never seen this behavior in Victor. I don't think he's done this since season one.
Yeah.
Been a little busy. But Victor says that like everything is changing and he hasn't measured in a while like he used to. And he should have been paying attention. Like he used to be very on top of his routine, but like stuff has been happening too much and he hasn't been able to do it. So now he's got to get back into measuring and making sure everything's okay. And Henry, best dad, asks if he can help. And Victor like hesitates for a moment, but agrees and then shows him how to measure his steps properly, which I thought was really cute. But yeah. So back inside, Kenny notices like dirty water dripping through the ceiling and goes to investigate. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" Because he sees like all the hoses through the hallway. And he finds Fatima in the dirt room making a giant pile of mud. And she seems so nonchalant when he walks in. She's just like, "Hi." And yeah, I had to question like her sanity in using the top floor of this old ass house to
Right.
do a mud project in because like it obviously started leaking right away. And like this seems like an outdoor activity or at least the bottom floor activity because the water damage is bad. I don't know. And that can't be like I could go on for a while about the logistics of this. But yeah. So Kenny knows that something's happening. He can keep an eye on her. Uh, Back at the station though, Jade is just spinning in circles in one of the office chairs in the station lobby, just like singing to himself, while Boyd is in his room in the other room, like looking through a box that has his wife's belongings. And he sees her wedding ring, or at least I think it's her wedding ring because he still has his on. And it's got like an engraved infinity sign on the inside, something like very distinct. But then Kenny walks into the station, and Jade like stares at him for a second, and then calls Boyd to come into the room and asks, "Is Kenny in this room right now?" And
Yes.
then Boyd's like, "Yes." And Jade's like, "Okay, never mind then." 'Cause he thought he was hallucinating Kenny and was like ready for a big revelation of something. But no. No, it's just real Kenny. And Kenny tells Boyd that he needs him to come see Fatima at the colony house. Then we go to the chapel where Elgin walks in and sees Sarah. Surprisingly, like she is like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave, give you your space." And he says, "No, like stay, let's talk." And they talk a lot about how things have changed since when they originally met here, when Elgin first arrived. And she asks him if he still sees the kimono lady. And he says no. And she asks him, like, "Why do you think you haven't seen her? Like, do you think she's just done with you?" And he can like sense that something's up, like there's more to it than just asking about the kimono lady, and asks what's going on with her. And she tells him that she thought that the voices were done with her, but it turns out they're not, and she's been hearing them again. And she tells him that the voices want her to go to the diner, pour a glass of water, take a sip, and then pour it back in, like to the communal pitcher. And he asks her, like, how would that hurt anything? Like, that seems pretty simple. Like, no way that that can cause
Right.
trouble.
This isn't the voices telling you to kill somebody.
Yeah, you're not being told to kill the boy or anything like that. But she says that there are most likely some consequences that like they just can't think of because she has drank from the water. Like it's putting her backwash back in there. First of all, gross. But like what if this is some sort of infection that she has and she passes this on? Like she doesn't want to she's experienced these voices, she's done bad things because of them. She doesn't want to pass that on to somebody else and make their lives hell. Like it's bad enough that she's had to go through it. And
Mhm.
she says that if she doesn't do it by midday, that the voices say something bad will happen to someone she cares about, and it'll keep happening until she does what they've asked. So now we're back to Henry and Victor. They're still outside measuring, and Henry wants to talk about yesterday. Victor, classic Victor, is in denial, and it's just like, nothing happened yesterday, and keeps moving. He's like, we're measuring trees. That is the only thing that is going on right now. Don't know what you're talking about. And Henry pushes him gently on it and asks, like, what did you think wasn't real? Because as we remember, like, Victor was just going, like, over and over again, I imagined it. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think it was real. So he's like, what exactly did you think was not real? Was it the yellow suit? And Henry asks about the man that wore it and if he hurt Victor. He also says that, like, whatever it is, we can face it together. Victor starts walking away, kind of expect that this is one of those classic Victor just avoiding situations that terrify him. But no, he tells Henry, like, I'll show you. I'll show you what it is that I thought wasn't real. And they start walking. Boyd then arrives at the colony house and goes to see Fatima. She is still trucking along in the dirt room. Very calm, cool, collected. Does not seem like anything out of the ordinary is happening. She is not playing with mud on the top floor of this house, making a mess. And she tells him that she had told Kenny, like, this is nothing to bother Boyd with. Nothing's wrong. But he asks her, like, can you just, like, tell me what you're doing? See if I can help. And she explains that she's making a monster. We don't need more monsters, Fatima. Please, not a monster.
Yeah, I immediately, though, when she was doing it, I'm like, I know what she's doing. Like, and this makes sense in a way if you know much about golems. She names it later, but like I can get her point of view on this.
Yeah.
Even though it's wild to do it in the upstairs.
Is it going to be able to get through the door?
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, the logistics don't work out. Girl, make it out. This is an outdoor activity. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do understand it, especially like with everything that she's been through. Like, yeah, you kind of want something to protect you. You want a monster on your side. They've got monsters. You need one. I get it. But Julie and Randall, I think this might be my favorite tag team right now.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we're just gonna get somewhere with them. It seems like a fun activity, even though it's not really a fun activity. And Randall does not seem to be enjoying this activity either. I'm enjoying it, so whatever. But they are still looking at the books, reading about Storywalker Fred. And in the book, it explains that in order for him to walk, Fred needs to leave a bookmark to, like, choose where he wants to visit. Again, I have some logistical questions about this, but whatever. Julie wants to try this out, and Randall is naturally skeptical. But she tells him that, um, what if things happen here and, like, some of the crazy shit seeps out into the real world, and that's, like, how it gets into these stories. She talks about how, like, her mom dreamed about this place and maybe others have done the same, and, like, that's what happened to the author of these books. So they dreamed about Storywalkers and wrote it into their books, and it's a real thing, but they just thought it was something that they dreamt up. So maybe it means something that, like, this was the book that they had when they arrived, like it's fate. And she says that she's going to try whether or not Randall helps her, and Big Brother Randall is not going to let her do that alone because who's going to pull her out? And he just asked, like, what kind of bookmark do we need for this? What's your plan? Let's do it. Uh, Boyd, meanwhile, is worried about Fatima, and um, she, like, tells him that she hasn't been trying to hide this from Ellis, which I'm gonna call a lie on because you literally waited for him to leave to do this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But she said that she's gonna explain when he's back. She said that where she grew up, beliefs were very rigid. But her dad always, like, told her about other faiths and would tell her all these stories regardless of the risk to him. Like, it always scared her mom, but he wanted her to know about all of the things that were out there because all roads lead to the divine. They just take different paths to get there. And out of all of the myths and fables that he would share with her, one has been on her mind lately. And then she asks Boyd if he knows what a golem is. So there you go. She's making a golem.
Which,
And
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I can kind of get where she's at,
yeah,
but like, I don't know that it's gonna help you.
I hope it does. I hope it's real.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So there's like a little bit of a time jump. We don't see like her explaining the whole thing to him, but we see Boyd leaving the room later, and Kenny's out there waiting, and he tells Kenny, oh, sorry. He tells Kenny what she's making, the golem. It's something from religious folklore that's a champion made of clay, that's more of like a symbol of hope. And he says that they should give her some space and she's not hurting anyone. And Kenny is more worried. And I think Boyd is too, but he's just like trying to be positive about this. But Kenny brings up that like they've seen this place change people and hurt them, and that it isn't Fatima, or like Fatima isn't the person that either of them have known. Like something is very different about her. And yeah, I don't think anyone in this house is the same as they were 30 days
No.
ago.
No, and like look, man. Yes, we've seen this place change people. We saw it change Abby, his wife. We saw it change. We've seen it change a lot of people. But like, if there's anybody who's allowed a little wiggle room, is the lady who just gave birth to the demon. You
Yeah,
know,
I think like my concern with this whole Gollum situation is what if it is real, but what if it's
not
like
good. Yeah.
what
What
yeah,
if
what
it's
if it's not
used
good?
for evil?
Yeah, what if it's like the whole baby situation all over again of like, oh, we're using Fatima to birth another demon, but this time it's going to be a giant clay golem that can't be killed.
And also, again, another logistic thing in the house. If it's bad, we don't really want it in the fucking house.
Right. Outdoor activities. I think it's going to be good though. I don't know. I got a good feeling about this golem. Even if it's just something that makes her feel safe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so now we're with the group headed to the settlement, and Donna asks Tabby like what the hell she's doing out there. And Tabitha doesn't know. And she says she's just kind of like walking around with a knot inside of her that feels like it's going to explode at any moment. And she keeps asking herself what they're supposed to do now. And she said that she had memories in her head, but she's worried what will happen if she remembers too much, like if she pushes too much, but also what will happen if she doesn't remember. And she doesn't really know how to do this alone. And I get that. Like, there's like a lot of pressure on her right now on both sides. And it's kind of that like, what happens if I do this? What happens if I don't? Like, there's consequences either way. And that's a lot. It is. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Donna is wonderful and tells her that she's not alone. And Donna doesn't want to find another note on her nightstand. She doesn't want to be put in the position to explain to Tabby's kids why their mom isn't there. And she also says that, like, if anyone's going to risk their lives to do something stupid, it is her turn. Like, everyone else needs to sit the fuck down, let Donna have a chance to be the crazy person for once.
Yep.
She's been the voice of reason this entire freaking show. Um, I don't know if I could see her doing something stupid though. We'll see.
Yeah. That's the thing. It was like she said some things, but it's like, oh, I mean, the fact that she's like, look, I don't put me in the position to be the
Yeah,
one to tell your kids that you're dead, please.
right. Also, I would be pissed if someone left a note for me saying, like, I had to do this, tell my kids I love them, take care of them. I'd be like, this needs to be a conversation, not just a
Yeah.
note you leave. Like, no, absolutely not.
How dare you? How dare
I
you
would
do
be
that?
pissed. Be so pissed. Um, but yeah, so as they finish their heart to heart, Ethan calls out for Tabby and shows her a bird that he found with a broken wing. And he has decided that they need to take this bird with them to the lake. And if it is healed in the water from the lake, then it's proof that they have found the Lake of Tears and everything is true. Cool. Sounds legit. Let's do it. At the diner, Mary and Christy are talking. They're like sitting in one of the booths, and they see Sophia. Sorry, I wrote Sophie, but I'm pretty sure her name's Sophia. That's probably like half Sophia, half Sophie in here because I
That's
just
fine.
half
That's
these names
fine.
are wrong. I don't know shit. But they see her standing out like on the edge of the motel pool, which why are you standing there of all places? I don't know. But they kind of have like this talk back and forth about how she's kind of weird. Like she's always praying all the time, and they both like I don't know, they like are bonding over the fact that like they're both a little uncomfortable with that. And
Yeah. I love
yeah,
that
like
I'm suspicious of somebody who prays a lot.
it's so uncomfortable.
Well, and it's not just that she prays a lot. It's the way she does it. It's weird.
It's weird, and then she's always talking about it too.
Yeah.
Always talking about it. Yeah, she and I would not be friends.
No.
Let's just like for multiple reasons, but especially that because that would make me very uncomfortable. And Mary even talks about how that was one of the things from uh her was it AA? Yeah, the AA meetings or NA
Yeah.
meetings. That's what it was. NA meetings that like she could not it was the one thing she could not really get on board with because they were always talking about like the higher power. But she says that if there's proof that there's no higher power looking out for them, it's this place. Which I
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
great point. Um Sarah walks into the diner and she's looking so nervous. Like she does not want to be there at all. But she walks over to the counter, grabs like the pitcher of water. It's kind of like they just have like this communal water pitcher. I don't know why. Like why not just fill it up from the tap every time someone needs water? I don't get that. But whatever. So she pours herself some water from there and she takes a drink from it, but she cannot bring herself to pour it back into the pitcher. And Bakta, who's like started running the diner since Tian Chen passed away, she comes over and like welcomes her and she's very like warm and inviting to Sarah, which we have not seen anyone be like to her. And Sarah is also very confused by this. Like she does not know how to react to like niceties anymore. But Bakta like offers her basically like her old job and says that she would love to have her there if she wants it. And like she can tell that Sarah is like, what the hell is going on? So she tells her that she was not there when Sarah did what she did. But the person that she knows and is like gotten to know over time deserves a place. And I think that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like that's very sweet.
Yeah. No, I
And
like that.
yeah. And I think that like gave Sarah the little boost to be like, I'm not gonna do what the voices say. So she asks Bacta to dump her glass of water. And she like starts to get up to leave. But then there's a yell and everyone runs outside to see that Sophia is now in the middle of the pool, like lying down. She has fallen in. Um, and she says that she was standing at the edge and it felt like someone pushed her. I'd push you.
Get
Um,
out of here.
yes, shut the fuck up. And Sarah is freaked out. She sees this as like the proof that since it's midday now and she did not drink the water and put it back in, that someone she cared about got hurt. So this is proof of the consequences. So she books it back to the diner and does what she was told to do. She drinks the water and pours the remainder back into the pitcher. What would you have done?
I don't know. It's one of those. It's not gonna hurt anybody. Also, like I don't know. I've known Sophia for like a minute. I need it to be somebody more important.
That was literally my thought of like, this is the person you care about here? Like, I don't know. I feel like, sure, everyone kind of is treating her like a pariah, or most
Yeah.
people are, but like, I feel like she's still got a better connection to Elgin, even though she just, cut his eye out. Like,
Right.
he's been nice to her before and after that incident. And in a weird way, I think Kenny would be on that list because she does care about him.
Yeah.
Like,
Boyd is
sure.
definitely on the list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but Sophia, like, you've known her a day and sure, she's shown you niceties, but no, I wouldn't I wouldn't expect her to be the first one getting hurt. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
On it. I don't know. It's such a
This is one of those things that I don't think I would be able to answer unless it actually happened to me.
yeah.
Because this place has proven that it can give, like, weird magical diseases to people through weird
True.
ways, transmissions. I don't know. There are no fast and true rules in this place.
That's true.
It's fucked up. But yeah, she did it. She's scared. I feel bad for her. She was just starting to feel normal again. But
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's such a tough one too for her because I feel like she was finally getting hope,
yeah, yeah,
and now to be brought back into this awful thing.
right, right. So back at the colony house, Boyd is outside, just, contemplating life as he does. And Jade joins him. I love this because we didn't see Jade go with him and Kenny to the colony house. And I like this was on my mind when Kenny came to get Boyd. I was like, what about Jade? You're supposed to be
Yeah,
watching Jade.
you got
No,
to come
Jade
with
went
him.
Jade went with them.
Yeah.
I was happy to see him there. So Jade has just been, hanging out in Colony House, high as fuck. But Jade reveals that he was eavesdropping the whole time because he's like, "So what about that mud monster?" Okay, buddy, love that. And Boyd says like he doesn't know if he should be up there stopping her or helping her. And Jade says that like if it weren't for the memories that him and Tabby remembered, he wouldn't have even considered taking the mushrooms.
Yeah.
His point in all of this is that something changed and he felt like he needed to do something drastic in order to move forward and figure out what's going on. So maybe they need to ask Fatima not why she's doing this, but why now? Like what has changed with her that has made her do something drastic?
This is a great question. That is a great question.
It
Of
is.
not, fucking insightful Jade. I love
Right.
it.
He's like I feel like I expected him to be acting a lot differently while high, but he's
See,
just
but
being like a wisdom.
he has been very chill.
He's
I also
yeah,
expected a different kind of high off of the magic mushrooms in the
yeah.
fucking place. But like, I also,
I'm not
granted,
complaining.
yes, and also I think we might have gotten a different reaction from somebody else. But Jade has done a lot of drugs.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I've never done mushrooms, never will,
Me neither.
but I thought it was a higher high than this. Movies have ruined me because I'm expecting like train spotting reactions here.
Yeah,
Um,
I wasn't sure if there were people in the room. I wasn't sure about Kenny.
right. Yeah, I don't know. He
Very
seems like a
mellow
very chill
high.
high. Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
need
That's the word,
we
mellow
need
high.
Jay High more often. He's much better high than he was drunk. He was very angry when he was drunk.
He was also very stressed. I mean, I guess he's still stressed out, but I
Yeah.
feel like there was that ticking time it felt for that, and now it's just kind of like I don't know. I feel like the stakes are different, maybe, or they just don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
he's
I don't
he's
know.
different than I expected.
Yeah, he's definitely different than I expected to.
Ah, I feel like in this mellow high is when I would also expect him to be floating in the brundles, but he
Right.
did that sober,
Yeah.
shockingly.
That's the thing is like we're getting the flip side of the high Jay Coy. Well, but we've seen him high before. His very first episode, he was high.
Hi, guy. Yeah,
Yeah, and he was like, "You're
he's a
beautiful."
jerk.
No, he was like really chill when he was
Oh,
high. He
oh,
was
that's right,
the
right. He
chillest
was a
because
jerk
he just kept
sober.
telling everybody they were beautiful.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I was expecting a more affectionate Jade.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, back to the settlement squad, the group that's off to go get some vegetables. They made it to the effigies, and apparently Donna's never been out there before. I thought she had or would have in this time, but I guess there haven't been that many trips out. She's like, oh, these are scarier than I was expecting. Like people described them, but it's different to like see them.
Yeah.
Um, And Ethan tells her that Jade has told him that they're there to ward off evil spirits. Um, Donna's like, that's comforting, I suppose.
Yeah, good, yay.
Still not really comforted, though.
Well,
I think those things are coming to life, and they're
I mean, yeah,
gonna
we do
butcher
know something's
people.
creeping outside the houses.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just love that Jade is brought up so much when they're like, yeah, Jade told me this as advice to make me calm down. Jade's doing that. Jade is wise. Jade's crazy. But yeah, so they start collecting food. She's like, let's get this done. We'll head out tomorrow. So the group of red shirts gets to work. Red shirts and Ellis.
Yep.
And then Tabby and Ethan go to bring the bird to the lake. And I think Donna goes with them.
Yes.
So then we are with Randall and Julie. Randall has brought like a stack of paper strips to the Matthews house, and he finds her upstairs cutting her hair. Well, uh-oh. And this is
Julie's
the
a bad
hairstyle
hair.
that but I think this is more of a bad wig situation. It looked like a wig to me.
Yes.
But she's cutting it short. We've seen this hairstyle once, and that was when Jim died. So we know that that is a potential jump that she could make. I feel like we still have a ways to go because she seemed to be a lot more
Confident in it.
knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Not great, but still, like, she knew what was coming in order
Yeah.
to try to warn him, even though she didn't do a good job of it. But yeah. But she tells him that she's cutting her hair because one of those things grabbed her hair the last time she walked, and she doesn't, like, she needs to be able to stop that from happening. It's still long enough that it could be grabbed, but
Yes.
it's
That's
still
what
better.
I was thinking. I'm like, no, that's not true. You gotta G.I. Jane it.
Yeah. There's only so much. She's seen Christy. She's gotta have some dignity left. But yeah, so then it cuts to them now being at the ruins, and she explains to Randall that she's gonna go in, draw a symbol on one of the pieces of paper, and then leave that piece there. If it works, then when she comes out and Randall pulls her out, she will have a symbol on the paper that's still with her. And that will be like her bookmark so that she can go back to that point if she wants to. They agree on like a 5-second timeline before he pulls her out, and she goes in. She has been transported to a scene that we are very familiar with. It is the middle of town on a day where there are bodies everywhere. This
Yeah,
is the
Victor is a little boy.
Yeah. And like we've seen that scene where Victor is standing in the middle of town surrounded by bodies, and now it's like the exact same thing. But Julie's there. Julie is where Victor is usually. So yeah, it's the day that Victor was left completely alone after the entire town was wiped out. And she looks around horrified. Like, it is one thing to hear about this, and I don't even know if she's heard about this. But it's completely different, like, being in the middle of, a massacre.
Yeah. I mean, she
And
knows that Victor was alone for a long time, but I think
yeah,
seeing this is shocking.
right. But like, yeah, she looks around and sees something that we haven't seen before here. The man in yellow is there, hunched over a body, eating it. Yummy.
Well, and we hear, because she hears, like, chewing noises, right?
Ugh. And we thought it was the dog.
I thought it was the dog, because we do see the dog in that scene. And
Yeah.
when she turned around and it was the man in yellow, I was like, oh shit, okay.
Right.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but I did not expect it to be him. But I think this also confirms that he might be the one that just killed everybody. Like, he was the extinction event.
Yeah. He's taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that I think he came, planted seeds, did the whole thing like he's doing with Sophia, where he's like, I'm messing with these people first. But I don't know that he killed everybody, but I do think he's taking a little snack.
Yeah, that's true. And we know that he didn't kill Victor's mom because we
Right.
saw Smiley run at her to do it, because that's an important note. But yeah, so he's at least partially responsible for this. We can assume. We'll find out. But yeah, so he's hunched over eating with his back to Julie, but he either like senses her or hears her because he turns around and he like smiled, like he's like, "Ooh, wasn't expecting to see you here." He doesn't say that, but like I'm reading that on his face.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's like, "Ooh, a snack on top of my 20 other snacks that are on the ground waiting for me, but this one's fresh." So he gets this like little grin on his face, not the same smiles as the monsters. But he starts walking towards her and she panics because don't want to be there for that. She draws the symbol on the paper real fast, drops it, and then starts running. And we see that he is now also running at her by this time, and then she vanishes because the 5 seconds are up and Randall has pulled her out. Thank God. She keeps getting teleported to like very bad timing place. Like not having control of where you go is very dangerous in this place.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no,
Like
that is I don't know that I'd be down for this.
I would not want this power because I'd be like, I'm not using it. Sorry. So Randall pulls her out and she immediately checks the paper, but unfortunately there is no symbol there. So the bookmark theory did not work, or we don't think it worked. I don't know that I expected this to work anyway.
I didn't really expect it to work. I'm gonna be
No,
honest.
I didn't. I did not. But also, like, I was curious, like, was she thinking that she goes somewhere she doesn't know where she's going, she drops a bookmark, and then if she tries to go across with the one that has the same symbol, that would take her there? Like, I was still just like, what
Maybe,
are
yeah. I was kind of confused about the bookmarks.
yeah, it's odd to me. But whatever. So Victor and Henry are like in the car graveyard where Victor has been multiple times before. And Victor has like dug something up. He always has like a secret stash of memories in this place. Like how people got to start digging more cuz what else is out there?
Constantly trying to like I'm gonna hide this one. You know what? This one, they're all bad. They're different levels of bad, so I'm gonna hide them in
Right.
different places so that when I do have to go back and remember them, I don't remember multiple things at once.
Yes.
I
No, he's got like 18 separate memory stashes buried out there at different locations. Each one is like a chapter that he has like ripped out of his mind to pretend that it didn't happen.
yes,
But yeah, so he digs this thing up and it is like a stack of pictures again. And the one on top, like he hands the stack to Henry as he starts talking through what they're about. And Henry is holding the stack. The first one on top is the man in yellow, smiling next to a car. And Victor says that this man came in a car just like everybody else, and that Victor thought the suit was funny, and that's pretty much why he drew it. But everybody thought that he was just like them, and like they welcomed him into town, incorporated him into everything, but he wasn't like them. And the day everyone died, when Victor found his mom, he saw the man. And we then see Henry flip to the next drawing, and it is a scene of the man in yellow leaning over a woman by the bottle tree, eating her.
yep,
And Henry is like immediately broken because he knows that that woman is his wife.
yep.
And Victor then confirms out loud that he saw the man in yellow eating Meredith that day. Or Miranda. Is it Meredith or Miranda?
It's Miranda.
Miranda. Ha! See, I told you there were multiple names wrong in this recap. Okay. So, yeah, that's not good. So he got around eating a bunch of people that day.
Yeah, and this is shocking to Henry,
Yeah.
as it
And
would
also, like,
be.
what a way to tell him. Like, here's a
Oh, I
picture.
know.
Sorry.
And this is one more moment where I'm sure Victor's like, and my dad's gonna hate me now.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Poor
It's
guy.
how do you tell someone their wife was eaten in front of you?
Oh yeah, no, there's no good way. No good way.
No.
Yeah, so dad, mom died. You know about that. like bits of the story I've told you. I've taken you to her grave. But also after she died, she was eaten by a man. That's why I could only find pieces. Yeah, like oof.
Unfortunate. Yeah. So at the clinic, um, Marie and Christy are setting Sophia's arm, so it broke in her fall into the pool. And Sophia says that everything's okay. This is just another test. It's a test that God is giving her in her faith. And like she sees that both of them are like uncomfortable and she's like, I get it. You guys don't believe. But she asks them if they've ever heard of the story of Abraham. And that story is that one day God tested Abraham's faith by telling him to kill his only son. And at the last second, he intervened and had him sacrifice a ram instead. God never intended for the son to die. He just wanted to check if Abraham would do it for him. And which seems like a bullshit thing to do, in my opinion.
That's one of those stories. It's like,
Not the
maybe
best.
don't do that to people.
Yeah. Yeah, just a thought. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time that she's telling the story, like, we see Sarah has been in the diner ever since she drank that water, watching the pitcher, waiting for something to happen. And she only gets up to leave after she sees Bach pour the rest of the water pitcher down the drain with nothing having happened. So, like, the juxtaposition of like this story with seeing Sarah, it's clear to us that this was just a test to see if Sarah would listen to the voices again, and she did. So I guess we'll see what that means for the future.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel so bad for her.
I feel so bad for Sarah.
Yeah. Fuck Sophia.
Right?
Anyway, at Colony House, Boyd and Kenny go into the room with Fatima and ask her why she's doing this now. Like, specifically, not just like, why are you doing this, but why are you doing this now? And she says that she still feels that thing that she carried, and it feels like they're still connected. She says that she feels what he feels, and it's a two-way thing, so he can feel what she's feeling, all of her fear, and he likes it. Yuck.
Ugh.
Yuck. Gross. Smiley. That's gross. Um, and by making this golem, she feels less afraid, and it's really the only way that she knows how to fight back. Kenny and Boyd leave, and Kenny asks if Boyd thinks that this can actually help. He doesn't know. No one knows.
Yeah.
But, like, it can't hurt to have a champion, so why not? Unless it does hurt, and it's not a champion, and it's evil. Just
Right.
throwing that out there, Boyd. It can
It could
hurt,
hurt.
but
It could hurt.
also, I get it. Like, we're gonna live in Delulu land where nothing bad happens. Sure. Um, and as Boyd is heading down the stairs to leave, the wedding ring that he'd been looking at earlier, the one with the infinity symbol, like falls out of his pocket, and like he picks it up and sees it, realizes what it is, and just starts staring at it. Like, he's like, how is this here? And Jade calls for him, and Boyd is like, we got to get back right now. They rush back to the station, and he goes to the keepsake box and pulls out the wedding ring, sees that it's still in there, and he like goes to compare it to the one that he found at Colony House, but that second ring is now gone. Like, it's not where he had left it.
Mhm.
So he is seeing things, something's going on, who knows. Um Now back at settlement, the red shirts are like chatting, just like having lighthearted conversation while they dig up vegetables. And the Matthews and Donna start pouring the lake water on the bird, like looking a little happy about it. They're excited to see
It
what
was
happens
weird
if
though.
anything.
They're like waterboarding this poor bird, just splashing
Yes.
water all over it. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was like a baptism. Like, they were dropping the water on top of its head. It was
Yeah.
poor bird. It already has a broken wing. Let it be.
Right.
Um But yeah, one of the red shirts hits something with his shovel and like lifts a giant rope from the ground. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" But for some reason decides to pull on it. And like it leads out into the lake. So he pulls on it, and like everyone's doing their own thing, but starts to look up because the lake has started bubbling like in the
I was
middle of
like, he
it.
pulled the fucking plug on it.
Yes.
Like, that's very much what it felt like in that
It
moment.
it did. I like it looked like it was gonna start spiraling in the middle.
Yes.
Like it was like, oh my god, they're not gonna have water. All the vegetables are gonna die. We're gonna have another food shortage. Everyone's gonna freak out. Nope, that's not what happens. The last shot that we have is everyone looking on as like a mass of bodies in like a net. It almost looks like a fishing net.
Yeah.
Like floats up to the surface. And everyone's like, "What the hell is this? Like, we're tired of this.
Right?
Stop
Yes.
it. Stop it, Demon
Yeah.
Land."
Yeah, I don't think this is the Lake of Tears, buddy.
It could be.
Could be.
Could be it's just a bad Lake of Tears though, man.
We
It's a
gotta see
lake
what
of
happens to this
bodies.
bird.
This bird's gonna mutate. It's gonna be like, shit, stop eating the vegetables. We're all infected. Yeah, it's not looking good for like anybody
No.
at this point.
No, there's no hope.
Abandon all hope.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I do think the only person who has hope, a little bit of hope in this moment, is Fatima. Because she's
Yeah.
got a project.
Yep. Yeah. We love a project.
And the other people who are going on projects have now hit road, like who have hit bumps in the road. You know,
Yeah.
I do need. Yeah, I'll be. And there's so much stuff that I'm like, I want to see what happens next week. Yeah, no, we got to learn a lot of things, like because we're gonna see. I don't think Jade's done tripping. We've got to see, because I think there's going to be some payoff to that, and so far there hasn't been payoff. I think that we're gonna see whatever the hell this is in the lake. I also want to see Henry tell people about the man in yellow eating the people and like what Victor told him.
Mhm.
Like those are my big things. I'm sure we'll still see more of Julie's story walking. I don't know that. I'm not like super invested in that because I know she doesn't save Jim.
Well, I feel like that's gonna be like the next season is she's gonna actually figure out how the hell to do this properly.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did appreciate that we had zero Acosta this episode.
She's been locked in that room. She's
Yeah.
like looking through all the old shit.
They said, stay down here. We'll give you a talisman. Just you live here now.
No one wants to see her face. We're gonna give you this project that goes nowhere just so that you stay out of our way and you can't steal cars.
Right?
Yeah.
I do love that everybody is slightly sus of Sophia. Just not like sus of her being like the man in yellow, but just like
she's too religious for us.
she prays a lot. I would
She prays
also
so
be
much.
suspicious. She prays a lot. It's weird. I don't trust
Yeah.
people who pray a lot.
That's exactly what Marie and Christy were saying.
Yeah.
And something I agree with. Yeah.
I'm finally agree with those two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. There's a lot of things that are leading to other things, which are eventually going to lead us to answers. I don't feel like this was filler. You know, I don't feel I've talked about my filler episodes in previous seasons. I don't think that's this. This is moving the story along. So
Yeah.
I have no
agree
idea
with
what's
that.
going to happen. I do hope we get more about the effigies, though.
I am hoping that in this next episode, because they're spending the night there after these bodies have just floated to stop, that something will happen there. Like, we can't, please don't leave that as nothing.
It's got to be something. It's absolutely got to be something. Whether we get effigy answers or not, but something's going to happen in that settlement.
Yeah.
Well, they've got it now. They've got the rope. They got to reel in the dead body. Figure that out. Because you're not just going to leave that in the lake. You got to investigate.
I mean, I would like to leave it in the lake. Just be like, oof, didn't see that.
Like, actually, maybe
Yeah,
not.
not my problem.
Well, I I cannot. This season has been wonderful. I cannot express more how much I have enjoyed this season so far.
Agreed.
And I'm sad that we have days to go before another episode.
Right. And it's
So,
the midpoint episode too.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. So we shall see what that has to bring. But thank you all for listening to I Found a Weird Show, and we cannot wait to continue the recap next time. Bye.
Bye.